Welcome to the chilling world of the 15 most haunted hospitals in Denmark. In this spine-tingling video, we'll take you on a tour of Denmark's creepiest medical institutions, where ghostly apparitions, chilling whispers, and cold spots haunt the dark corners of these once bustling places. From their grim histories to the eerie encounters still reported today, prepare yourself for a journey into the supernatural. Let's dive in. 1. Hospital of the Holy Ghost, Alborg. The Hospital of the Holy Ghost in Alborg, Denmark, stands as one of the oldest and most haunted institutions in the country. Originally established in 1500, this former monastic hospital was dedicated to caring for the sick and poor. Its eerie past is steeped in centuries of death, suffering, and fear, and many believe the restless spirits of those who died here still roam its halls. Over the centuries, the building transitioned from a religious center to a public hospital, and now serves as a retirement home. Yet, the echoes of its past are hard to shake. Visitors and staff have reported hearing the sound of disembodied footsteps, whispers in empty rooms, and the sudden coldness of the air that lingers even on the warmest of days. Shadowy figures have been spotted lurking in the dark corners of the building, often vanishing before anyone can confirm their presence. Perhaps most disturbing is the feeling of being watched, as though unseen eyes follow your every move, a reminder that the spirits of the past have never truly left. For those who dare to visit, the Hospital of the Holy Ghost in Alborg remains a place where the line between the living and the dead is dangerously thin. 2. Rosilda County Hospital. Rosilda County Hospital, once a bustling medical facility, now stands abandoned and silent in the heart of Denmark. Its towering, decaying walls echo the many years of sickness and death it witnessed. Opened in the 1800s, it served as a sanctuary for the ill and dying, but it soon became a place where the boundary between life and death blurred. The patients who once sought comfort here often did not find it, and their souls, many believe, remain trapped within the hospital's cold, forgotten halls. Those who have ventured into the hospital report hearing the chilling sound of a gurney rolling down the hallway, only to find no one there. Others claim to have seen fleeting figures through cracked windows, ghostly patients still trapped in a state of limbo. The most unsettling of reports, however, come from those who have entered the old operating rooms, where the air grows thick with an unexplainable presence. Whispers of voices from the past fill the space, and an overwhelming feeling of dread hangs in the air. The hospital may no longer treat the living, but its spirits remain, restless and unwilling to leave the place where they suffered. Rosilda County Hospital is a place where death never truly parted with its patients, leaving them forever trapped in the shadow of the hospital's haunted past. 3. Hanss Hospital, Rosilda. Hanss Hospital, located in the historic city of Rosilda, is a place steeped in eerie history. Originally founded as a psychiatric hospital in the 1600s, it has seen countless patients who were often treated with methods that today seem unimaginable. The dark past of Hanss is said to have left a lingering presence, with paranormal activity reported by many over the years. One of the most common experiences visitors report is a cold, oppressive atmosphere in the abandoned wings of the hospital. The sound of footsteps echoes through the empty halls, yet no one is seen. Shadowy figures have been observed in the corner of one's eye, always vanishing when one turns to look directly. Some claim to hear the soft murmurs of long-dead patients still whispering in the dark corners of the old asylum. The most chilling stories come from those who have ventured into the old operating rooms, where they report an unsettling sense of being watched. It is as if the spirits of the past patients, who were subjected to often inhumane treatments, are still lingering in those very spaces, forever bound to the place of their torment. Sankt Hanns Hospital's unsettling past and its reputation for supernatural activity make it one of the most feared locations in Denmark. The restless souls of the former patients seem to remain trapped within the walls of the once mighty institution. 4. Copenhagen's Municipal Hospital. Copenhagen's Municipal Hospital, once one of the city's largest and most active medical centers, has a reputation far darker than its clinical walls would suggest. Over its long history, it treated thousands of patients, many of whom did not survive the various plagues, infections, and surgeries. It was also home to a number of disturbing experimental treatments, and the spirits of those who suffered here are said to haunt the premises. As the hospital closed its doors for good, rumors spread about the lingering souls of former patients and staff who never truly left. Reports of cold drafts and the unsettling sensation of being watched are common among those brave enough to explore the abandoned hospital. Ghostly apparitions have been seen wandering the darkened corridors, pale, gaunt figures in hospital gowns, aimlessly searching for something or someone. Strange noises, such as footsteps echoing through empty halls and whispers coming from vacant rooms, have been documented, adding to the eerie atmosphere. What is perhaps most chilling about Copenhagen's Municipal Hospital is the consistent feeling of unease that overwhelms anyone who steps foot on its grounds. It is said that on certain nights, the faint sound of a gurney rolling down the hall can still be heard, despite the building's abandonment. This haunted hospital remains a place where the boundaries between life and death seem to blur, and the past continues to haunt its silent halls. The spirits of Copenhagen's Municipal Hospital are not ready to rest. They are still searching for peace in the place where they once suffered. 5. Ors Hospital. Copenhagen Ors Hospital, Denmark's largest and most prestigious hospital, has a dark reputation that contrasts sharply with its modern exterior. Founded in the early 20th century, the hospital has long been a place where both life and death have met. Many paranormal enthusiasts claim that the spirits of patients who passed away under its roof still haunt the corridors, particularly in the older sections of the hospital. Numerous staff members and visitors have reported unusual phenomena, such as flickering lights, doors slamming shut on their own, and cold spots that appear out of nowhere. One of the most chilling stories comes from the hospital's surgery wards, where nurses and doctors have claimed to hear phantom voices whispering as they work in the dead of night. Some even describe seeing shadowy figures moving across the rooms, only to vanish when approached. Perhaps the most unsettling encounters are those from patients in the hospital's more aged wards. Many have spoken of hearing soft cries or feeling an invisible presence in their rooms. One patient recounted the feeling of someone gently caressing their forehead in the middle of the night, only to wake up and find no one there. Ors Hospital's ghostly tales have persisted for years, with each new visitor or staff member adding their own eerie encounter to the building's growing history of paranormal activity. It's clear that this hospital, though focused on healing, may never quite rid itself of the restless souls it's come to harbor. 6. Esber Hospital. Esber Hospital, located in southwestern Denmark, is one of the most notorious abandoned hospitals in the country, often cited in ghost stories and paranormal investigations. This hospital, which opened in the early 1900s, had a long history of treating both the mentally ill and physically sick. with many patients passing away due to the lack of advanced medical treatments at the time. As the hospital closed its doors and was abandoned in recent years, it became a haven for ghostly encounters. One of the most common paranormal reports, from those brave enough to explore its dark halls, is the overwhelming sense of unease that washes over them. Visitors speak of a chilling coldness that permeates the building, particularly in the dimly lit stairwells and long corridors. Many have claimed to see shadowy figures darting across rooms, only to vanish when they turn their heads. The echoes of unexplained footsteps are frequently heard, despite the building being empty. The Old Morgue is a particularly notorious spot within Esber Hospital, with several individuals claiming to have witnessed apparitions of disfigured figures, perhaps the spirits of those who died under painful conditions. The lingering scent of antiseptic and the sound of faint crying has been reported by those who dare to enter its abandoned spaces. With its dark history of sickness and death, it's no surprise that Esber Hospital is considered one of Denmark's most haunted locations. 7. Odense University Hospital. Odense University Hospital, located in the city of Odense, is one of Denmark's largest and oldest medical institutions. It's a place where many lives have been saved, but just as many have been lost. Over the years, rumors of paranormal activity have surrounded the hospital, and it has become known as one of the most haunted locations in Denmark. The building, with its aging, creaky structure, is rife with stories of ghostly encounters. One of the most chilling is the report of a ghostly nurse seen walking the halls late at night. Witnesses describe her as a shadowy figure, often seen wearing an old-fashioned nurse's uniform, moving briskly through the corridors before disappearing into thin air. Some claim to hear her soft footsteps approaching from behind, only to turn around and find the hallway empty. The hospital's old wards, which have since been closed off, are said to be particularly active. Visitors report a strong feeling of being watched, and many have heard strange noises, such as distant crying or the sound of equipment moving on its own. The most unnerving reports come from the hospital's now abandoned operating theaters, where some believe the spirits of those who underwent unsuccessful surgeries still linger. Odense University Hospital's eerie atmosphere and the countless ghost stories it has spawned make it a place that's impossible to forget, especially for those who experience its paranormal activity firsthand. 8. Vid Hospital, Copenhagen. Vid Hospital, located on the outskirts of Copenhagen, is not only known for its medical advancements, but also for its unnerving paranormal reputation. Established in the 1930s, the hospital has been the site of numerous medical procedures, some of which resulted in tragic or unexplained deaths. Over the years, it has gained a reputation as one of the most haunted hospitals in Denmark. The stories of paranormal activity are widespread among both staff and visitors. Those who work the late shifts in the older wings of the hospital often describe the sensation of being followed. Some have heard the faint sound of footsteps behind them, only to turn and find no one there. Others have reported cold drafts and a sudden drop in temperature, especially in the disused sections of the building. One particularly disturbing legend involves the hospital's old psychiatric wards. Here, visitors have claimed to hear eerie cries and the sound of doors slamming shut, despite the area being completely empty. Staff working late at night have reported seeing shadowy figures move between rooms, and there are even stories of light fixtures turning on and off on their own. For many, the most unsettling phenomenon is the feeling of being watched, as if unseen eyes are following every step they take. The haunting history of Vid Hospital, with its unsettling past and eerie occurrences, ensures that it remains a place where the boundary between the living and the dead seems dangerously thin. The spirits of those who passed away under mysterious or tragic circumstances may still linger, forever tied to the hospital's chilling history. 9. Kolding Hospital. Kolding Hospital, located in the charming town of Kolding in southern Denmark, is not only known for its medical care, but also for its long history and dark, mysterious reputation. Built in the early 20th century, the hospital has seen countless deaths, many of which were from illnesses that had no known cure at the time. These tragic deaths, some of which were sudden and unexplained, are said to have left their mark on the hospital, with numerous reports of paranormal activity throughout the years. One of the most disturbing claims comes from hospital staff who have reported hearing faint cries and whispers in the abandoned sections of the building, which have not been used in decades. The sounds are often described as soft, mournful wails, as if the spirits of patients long gone are still calling out for help. Another chilling encounter involves shadowy figures that are seen out of the corner of the eye. These figures are often described as fleeting, moving quickly down the hallways and vanishing when approached. Some have also reported seeing figures standing at the foot of their bed, only to find the space empty when they turn on the light. Perhaps most unsettling of all is the inexplicable sense of dread that seems to cling to the hospital's older wings. Visitors and staff alike have described an overwhelming feeling of being watched, as if unseen eyes are following them wherever they go. The lingering sense of death and the hospital's tragic past makes Kolding Hospital a place where the line between the living and the dead is difficult to discern. The restless spirits of those who suffered within its walls seem to remain trapped in the hospital's dark and eerie corridors. 10. Aarhus Psychiatric Hospital. Aarhus Psychiatric Hospital, located in Denmark's second-largest city, is one of the most notorious sites for paranormal activity in the country. Established in the 19th century, it originally served as a treatment facility for the mentally ill, and over the years, its reputation became linked to numerous unexplained deaths, especially during its early years, when patients were often subjected to harsh, outdated methods of treatment. The hospital's grim history of suffering and death has contributed to the eerie atmosphere that persists today. One of the most chilling reports from the hospital comes from staff and patients who have experienced inexplicable occurrences in the older wings of the facility. Visitors have reported hearing ghostly voices echoing through the dark corridors, mournful whispers, distant cries, and even the sounds of laughter coming from empty rooms. Shadowy figures have been seen moving swiftly down the hallways, only to disappear when approached. Some have even claimed to see the apparitions of former patients, restless souls who never left the place where they suffered. Perhaps the most unsettling encounters have been in the former psychiatric wards, where many patients who were mistreated during the hospital's early years are said to have died. The rooms are often described as cold, with an oppressive, unnatural atmosphere. Staff working late have reported feeling a sudden drop in temperature, and several have been startled by the sudden slamming of doors or windows that seem to operate of their own accord. Aarhus Psychiatric Hospital remains a place where the line between the living and the dead is thin. It is a location that continues to intrigue and terrify those who dare to explore its haunted halls. The spirits of those who passed away within its walls seem to linger, trapped by the tragedies that occurred there. 11. Fredericksburg Hospital, Copenhagen. Fredericksburg Hospital, Located in the heart of Copenhagen, is one of the city's oldest medical facilities and is infamous for its chilling supernatural history. Established in the late 19th century, the hospital has a long record of treating the ill, the poor, and the mentally unstable. Many of its patients passed away under mysterious or tragic circumstances, and it's this grim history that has given Fredericksburg Hospital a reputation as one of Denmark's most haunted sites. Reports of paranormal activity in the hospital are frequent. Former staff members and visitors alike have reported hearing inexplicable noises, such as the sounds of medical equipment clattering, footsteps in empty hallways, and faint cries echoing through abandoned wings. In the hospital's old psychiatric wing, where the mentally ill were often confined and subjected to harsh treatments, patients and staff have witnessed shadowy figures moving between rooms. Some have even described feeling a cold, oppressive presence following them through the darkened halls. One particularly eerie legend from Fredericksburg Hospital involves a ghostly figure, often described as a woman in a hospital gown, who is said to wander the corridors. Witnesses claim to see her standing in darkened doorways or sitting at the edge of beds in empty rooms, only for her to vanish when approached. There are also reports of lights flickering and doors opening and closing by themselves, further intensifying the unsettling atmosphere. The hospital's chilling past, combined with its continued reputation for paranormal activity, has made Fredericksburg Hospital a location where the boundaries between the living and the dead seem disturbingly thin. The spirits of patients who suffered within its walls are said to remain trapped, unable to find peace. 12. Viborg Regional Hospital. Viborg Regional Hospital, located in the city of Viborg, in central Jutland, Denmark, is another hospital with a reputation for being haunted, largely due to its long and turbulent history. The hospital, which dates back to the early 20th century, has treated countless patients over the years, many of whom passed away under tragic or unexplained circumstances. As a result, the building has earned a reputation for paranormal activity, with numerous visitors and staff members reporting eerie occurrences. The older sections of the hospital, particularly the abandoned wings, are where the most unsettling activity is reported. Visitors have claimed to hear strange noises, such as the sounds of medical equipment moving on its own or footsteps echoing in the halls, despite the area being empty. Some have reported seeing shadowy figures darting from room to room, and others have described a sudden drop in temperature that seems to come from nowhere, often accompanied by a sense of foreboding. Perhaps the most chilling encounters come from the hospital's old morgue, which still stands as a haunting reminder of the many lives lost within its walls. It is said that the spirits of patients who passed away here continue to linger. Several staff members have reported seeing ghostly apparitions in the morgue, some even claiming to have seen the figure of a former patient standing by the cold storage units, staring at them with hollow eyes. Viborg Regional Hospital, with its long history of sickness, suffering, and death, remains a place where the veil between the living and the dead is disturbingly thin. Its haunted reputation continues to draw both curiosity and fear, as the restless spirits of those who once suffered there seem unable to find peace. 13. Herlev Hospital, Copenhagen. Herlev Hospital, one of Copenhagen's largest medical institutions, has earned a reputation for being a hotspot of paranormal activity. Originally founded in 1932, this hospital has a long history of medical advancements and countless patient treatments, some of which ended in tragic circumstances. As with many older hospitals, the stories of those who passed away under mysterious or unfortunate circumstances have contributed to a lingering sense of unease and unexplained phenomena reported by both staff and visitors. The hospital's older sections, particularly the areas still containing original equipment and dark, abandoned hallways, are where most of the paranormal encounters occur. Nurses and hospital staff working night shifts have reported hearing footsteps in the halls, only to find no one there. Some have described the chilling sensation of being watched, as if unseen eyes are tracking their every move. One of the most unnerving legends involves sightings of a figure dressed in old-fashioned hospital attire, appearing as a shadowy silhouette moving swiftly through the wards. This apparition has been seen walking the halls at night, disappearing through walls or vanishing around corners. Even more eerie are the accounts of people who felt a cold, ghostly hand gently touch them, only to turn around and find no one nearby. Perhaps the most unsettling accounts come from patients in the hospital's psychiatric unit, who have described seeing strange, shadowy figures looming near their beds or hearing whispers in the night. The eerie, oppressive atmosphere of Herlev Hospital, combined with its tragic history, continues to fuel stories of hauntings, making it one of Copenhagen's most haunted medical facilities. Those who've experienced the paranormal activities firsthand agree. Herlev Hospital may never be fully rid of its restless spirits. 14. Slagelse Hospital. Slagelse Hospital, located in the small town of Slagelse on the island of Zealand, Denmark, is another site with a chilling reputation for paranormal activity. Established in the late 1800s, the hospital has long been a place where life and death have crossed paths. It has treated countless patients, many of whom passed away under tragic or mysterious circumstances, which has contributed to its reputation as one of Denmark's most haunted locations. One of the most commonly reported paranormal events is the sensation of being followed. Staff members, particularly those working late into the night, have claimed to feel an eerie presence behind them, only to turn around and find the halls completely empty. This unnerving experience often occurs in the hospital's older, abandoned wings, where few people venture. Several visitors have reported seeing shadowy figures that appear to move swiftly through darkened rooms or corridors, only to vanish when approached. Some have even heard disembodied voices and faint whispers coming from empty rooms. One of the most terrifying legends surrounding Slagelse Hospital involves the old morgue, where many believe the restless spirits of patients who passed away here continue to linger. Visitors claim to have seen spectral figures standing in the corners of the morgue, with hollow, lifeless eyes staring at them in silence. There are also accounts of unexplained cold spots and a sudden, overwhelming feeling of dread in certain parts of the hospital, particularly around the old psychiatric wards. The combination of a long history of suffering, tragic deaths, and the ongoing paranormal experiences has solidified Slagelse Hospital's place as one of Denmark's most haunted locations, where the spirits of those who once resided within its walls seem unable to rest. 15. Runds Hospital. Runds Hospital, located in the charming town of Randers in eastern Jutland, Denmark, is not only known for its medical facilities, but also for its dark and unsettling past. Founded in the early 20th century, the hospital has witnessed countless cases of illness, suffering, and death. Many of its patients, especially those in the older psychiatric wards, met untimely or tragic ends, and it is these unresolved deaths that are believed to have left behind restless spirits that still haunt the hospital to this day. Paranormal reports from staff and visitors alike are abundant. The older, more secluded sections of the hospital, especially those that have been abandoned or repurposed, frequently associated with eerie occurrences. Many individuals have claimed to hear strange noises in these parts of the hospital. Faint whispers, the sound of footsteps following them, or even the unsettling sensation of doors opening and closing on their own. One particularly haunting encounter involves a spectral figure, often seen in the older psychiatric wing. This apparition, described as a shadowy figure, has been reported standing at the foot of beds or walking down empty hallways, disappearing as quickly as it appears. Some have said that when they approach, the temperature drops significantly, and an overwhelming sense of dread fills the air. Several staff members have also reported experiencing inexplicable cold spots and being brushed by something unseen. Perhaps the most unnerving experience, however, is the strong feeling of being watched, especially when alone in certain parts of the hospital. The combination of its tragic history, the untold suffering of its past patients, and the ongoing reports of paranormal activity make Randers Hospital one of Denmark's most haunted locations, where the veil between the living and the dead seems to grow dangerously thin. Thank you for watching this terrifying exploration of the 15 most haunted hospitals in Denmark. If these ghostly stories gave you chills, make sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more creepy tales. What do you think? Are the spirits of former patients still wandering these hospitals? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, stay brave and remember, some hospitals should remain forgotten.